everybody. I'm having a guest. Her name is Danielle. Her Instagram handle is Vibrant Living Mel Beach, vibrant underscore living underscore Mel Beach. And while we're waiting for her to accept my invitation, I'm going to give you a small introduction of who we are and what we are doing. So, Melina International is a multi product brand. The most important product and the product that really speaks to me personally is their Greek organic extra virgin olive oil. And what we are going to be doing, me and Danielle, just going to invite her one more time, um, is we are going to be spending every Thursday at 10 a.m. talking about holistic topics. And um, we're both kind of new to this. And oh, hi, Danielle. Perfect.
Hey!
How are you doing today?
Good, thank you. Doing really well. How about you?
Doing awesome. So I was just giving an introduction about how what Melina represents and how every Thursday at 10 a.m. we're going to be doing an Instagram live together and just talking about some topics that we feel that our customers, our viewers, our followers would be interested in. And to give everyone a little background about you, Danielle is not just any single mom. She's incredibly passionate about the vegan, plant-based lifestyle and has 16 years of living experience to share with us. Together, we're thrilled to be here to talk to you about the amazing health benefits incorporating Melina organic extra virgin olive oil and other products into the raw vegan lifestyle. Today, specifically, we are going to be focusing on people that are new to the healthy living lifestyle because it do we lose?
Okay.
All right.
I am plugging. I'm having one of my four children plug in the uh the charger.
Perfect.
Okay, so good.
Awesome. So we know that the healthy lifestyle can be intimidating for people that are a bit new. There's a lot out there, and you don't know what you don't know. And sometimes finding a good place to start is the hardest, but most important step to take.
Well,
So, Danielle,
let me
yes.
let me explain a little bit about my journey just quickly is about 16 years ago I started on this vegan organic lifestyle, and I pretty much dove in head first in the deep end, and I've lived this way for this long, and I would say hardcore. Like everything I cook is in the home. I believe in quality ingredients, and over the 16 years, and the proof is in the pudding as far as health and wellness and skin and energy and inflammation and things like that that a lot of people come across in their lifetime. Um, and so I love it. I love it. And I'm here to want to share my almost 16 years of knowledge through this experience of living a plant-based vegan organic lifestyle, chemical free. And one of the main things that I look for is the quality of ingredients, because when you're cooking so purely, it's very important to get ingredients that are of top notch. And so I used to use Melina olive oil from the beginning. I ran a co-op where people would come to my house and get fruits and veggies and things like that. And it's a fun story. So for years, I used Melina through the company that I used to get the produce from. And then things switch around and they stopped carrying the product. And so I reached out to Melina personally and talked to some of the wonderful individuals there. And we got this little thing worked out where I could kind of promote what I know and be a little like a sponsored by them. So it worked out. I used their product way before I even had this little partnership going on. And so while we're talking about the quality ingredients and while we're here for Melina, I'd like to just tell you a little bit about why I chose that product in the beginning, because everything in my kitchen, I've done research, I've called the companies, I've asked for paperwork, I mean, I've done it all. So the thing about Melina is to be considered an extra virgin olive oil, it has to be below 0.8%. And Melina is clocking in at a 0.3%, which is fabulous. And, just having a healthy body for so long, I can kind of taste something and tell right away anyway, whether or not it feels like it's quality. But another thing that's really important that they've had that turned me on to them in the beginning is if you look at the back of the bottle, a lot of times there'll be a list of 3 to 6 different countries that they're getting the olives from and pressing it down. And Melina olive oil is a single source extra olive oil from Guatemala, Greece. And this company is a family-owned company. The farmers that had the trees were first founded in 1851. And so it's a quality olive oil. They have the harvest date on the back. There's little tips you can do when you stick the olive oil in the fridge or cold. Little beads will coagulate, which tells you this is a quality olive oil. But you have to look no further because I've done the research for you. And it's one of the best products that I use. And it has a fruity profile finished with a peppery taste. It's great for using it in dressings, using it as a finishing oil, and multiple uses. But nevertheless, it's a quality ingredient. And so that's how the relationship with Melina evolved. And so we're here today, and reach out to those of you who are interested, who have questions, who have some things along the way that you're like wanting to get better at. And so I'm here to help coach you through my experience of almost 16 years and the knowledge base that I've lived. So that's basically the introduction of how we've got here.
Awesome. Thank you for that. It really is such a big difference with a quality olive oil because I cook everything in olive oil. Obviously, like with smoke points, there's different oils to use for what you're cooking. But when I cook with the olive oil, when I use it on a dressing or like you said, a finishing oil, like the flavor, if the level that it enhances the flavor of whatever you're using it with, to me speaks volumes of the quality of the olive oil and also like how much olive oil can do when it is a positive. I think a lot of people, Whole Foods is a trusted brand. However, I'm glad you mentioned the sources because their organic extra virgin olive oil comes from a lot of sources. So it's organic, but when you are separating where these olives are coming from, you're losing a lot of the antioxidants and the polyphenols that are what help the anti-inflammation properties of the olive oil. Me personally, I've struggled with my skin my whole life, and it is 100% because of inflammation. Using Melina was a very big step for me because I eat a lot of salads, and I know we talked about this earlier, and we'll dive more into this in another video, but we talked about anti-nutrients and how inflammatory anti-nutrients can be. And for anyone that this is their first video, anti-nutrients is properties that vegetables can have that can really prevent your body from absorbing other nutrients. These are things that can be gotten rid of very easily, and in Mediterranean practices are very naturally taken out. What was your phrase? Soaking, boiling, sprouting? Yeah.
Yes. Soaking
Yep.
and sprouting. Yes. So like
Yep.
all your seeds, your beans, your nuts, those are the things that you want to turn. Basically what it means is you're turning them from a dormant state to a live state, which is shedding all the impurities, which allows your body to absorb the health benefits that that nut, seed, legume offers.
Yes, yes. And growing up in a Lebanese household, it was tradition every time that we use lentils, we use beans, we're always soaking them overnight before.
Yes.
And like you said, that's what these beans and these nuts, they have a protective coating. And when you kind of remove that coating and you allow it to start living, then you can absorb the nutrients because the plant's protecting itself from being eaten and in its own way. And also a big thing too is with those like broccoli, like those leafy greens. You don't want to ever eat those raw. You know, and you don't want to eat broccoli raw in the first place. It does not have the same taste. Things like that. But we'll separate a whole video for this.
Yeah.
I don't want to get off too much off topic because we want to focus on people that are very new to the healthy lifestyle. So, if you want to get started, we can hit a couple of these questions I sent to you earlier. The first one is, where should I start if I want to improve my health gradually?
So this is a fun one. And it starts with you making the decision to add things into your life that are going to help improve your health and well-being. So it starts with just a simple decision to say, I'm going to do it. And then from there, what I suggest is you start to maybe educate yourself a little bit through some documentaries that are really good. Also, not putting too much pressure on yourself. If you're just starting, there are definitely some personalities that jump off the deep end, like myself, and there are some personalities that like to just incorporate it a little bit. So first is to make the decision that you want to do this and that you want to have some change in your life. The second thing is to not overly pressure yourself to have to know it all in one day. And then my third tip is motivation only takes people so far. So I can be motivated for a month, I could be motivated to do it, but what's really going to set you forward is if you educate yourself so you have the inspiration to be motivated to incorporate these type of health benefits into your lifestyle.
Awesome. I like that you touched on personalities too, because when it comes to a lifestyle change, your personality is going to dictate your strategy. And understanding yourself on a deeper level is going to really help you understand what you can and cannot incorporate, when, how much. I know me personally, I dive in and then I burn out. And that is a terrible habit to do because it causes a cycle of, okay, I didn't do it and I can't do it. And that makes it way harder to start again.
Yes.
Um,
I have seen, so I ran a produce co-op for years where people would come in and then you'd get some people who were jazzed about it, some people who were just doing it for a little bit, some people who would start and get burnt out, you know, and so I have definitely a wide knowledge base of different personalities that come in that want to try the lifestyle. And so that's why I said the burnout is real. People do it because they're motivated just for a little bit. They're motivated because maybe something's coming up or maybe a doctor told them something. But the real key is to kind of educate yourself so you have the power and the knowledge that makes you go, well, yeah, duh, this is the only way I want. Like, this is the only way that I want. And then what's beautiful is you have the feelings that back it up. You're not as tired. Your skin is better. Your bowel movements are wonderful. You're feeling more vibrant. It's showing from the inside out. And so those things then now become your inspiration and motivation. So that's, you know, I've seen a lot of people with different varieties. And again, where I say the pressure thing, I think a lot of people put so much pressure on them to be it all and know it all right away. And if that's in your personality and you're like the type of person who likes to just grab the bull by the horns, then great, I'm here for that too. But for most individuals, it's baby steps, and that's a wonderful thing, because again, if you just decide today, I'm going to start doing this, I'm going to start incorporating, I'm going to start learning about it, then you're already on your journey.
Absolutely. Um, I, for me, my understanding, because I studied engineering in school and I was an engineer for a little bit before I do what I do now. I always relate things to the laws of physics because the laws of physics are universal laws. And in physics, power is work over time. If you want something to have power or energy, you need to put in the work over time. Not 1 second, not 5 minutes. You need enough time that that work makes sense. And that is all about the small habits. If you can introduce one small habit every day, then you'll be able to, like you said, build on it and keep enhancing that momentum that that one habit's given you. Um, so yeah, I always think of things in those terms. Power is work over time. If you want change, if you want a new energy, you need to be putting in work over time, whatever that means for you, so that you can stick to it. Um, and then, so that kind of leads us into the next question. What are some simple dietary restrictions I can make to improve my health? So what are small diet changes that I will start to see, maybe not an instant effect, but can start getting the ball rolling?
So, an easy one that I like to tell people is to look at your plate. And when you look at your plate, because right away, I don't want you to, my suggestion is that you don't start thinking, what can I have and what can I have? And my suggestion is to take a look at your plate. And if you can start a simple change every day, that you're looking down and you say, okay, is half of this plate vegetables or some type of fruit and vegetable? And then you can have a quarter of it with whatever else that you want, whatever grain you want, or if you're eating meat or whatever it is. But if you can look down at that plate and just say to yourself, okay, if I can make half of this plate vegetables, fruits, things like that, that is a win. And then another suggestion that I like to tell people that they really don't think about is every day, if you could get one of your meals that you eat in the sun, it's so helpful. It's so vibrant. It takes you away from your phone, the bustle and hustle of the day, and you're connecting with nature. You're connecting with the sun while you eat these plants that the sun grows. The sun makes these plants grow vibrantly. And so that's like a huge suggestion that I would offer for people to try to incorporate, because it just switches the mindset. Another thing too is eat slowly, be mindful, think about where this food is going, think about the health benefits that you're incorporating while you're eating this plate of food. So that would be just,
Absolutely.
yeah, a few places that I would just start from there. And there's so much more. We have tons and tons of information where all that's concerned.
Yes, we definitely want to keep it simple to start,
Yeah.
which I love the 3 points. First one, try and make half your plate fruits and vegetables. Um, really add. So whatever you planned on eating, try and add to it. I think that's a huge first step for people because, like you said, we don't want to be taking away things and get discouraged. We want to add and enjoy the process.
Yes.
And then eating in the sun, huge, because sun also, you have an internal clock in the back of your head, and if you're able to see that sun once, twice a day, you are going to just have a way better sleep schedule. And then third, eat slowly. I'm definitely a victim of eating in front of my TV, eating in front
Yeah.
of my phone, and just shoveling it in my mouth.
Mm-hmm. That's a
And if you, yeah, because if the more present you are when you are eating, the more your body is going to, and also just being grateful, looking at your plate and saying, thank God I have food to eat,
yes.
slowing down that way, the more that you can be in touch with this lifestyle, this very natural and intuitive way of living, the more you're going to see very natural results. So, fruits and vegetables, half your plate, eat in the sun if you can, and eat slowly. All of these things are about
Yeah.
mindfulness, being present, and I just wanted to say one thing too. For the last week, I've been eating fruit as much as I can. That's the one lifestyle change I kind of switched up, mostly because I just had this really big craving for fruit. And it's so funny because all my friends, I'm like, guys, fruit is awesome. I'm just happy all of the time. And the only change I made is I've been eating fruit 24/7. Pineapple, kumquats, apples, mangoes, bananas, grapes, blueberries, strawberries, everything. Um, and just kind of wanted, I knew I wasn't going to have a lot of time this week, so just making that one change. And fruit is like a dessert, like it feels like I'm eating dessert all day. It's and you're getting so hydrated. I love fruit. Awesome. So yeah, and then
And
the next question, that's so funny, is how can I incorporate more fruits and vegetables into my diet without feeling overwhelmed? If I could just say one thing about that, I just say go to the grocery store and like feel like it's kind of like a treasure hunt and buy a bunch of stuff that is new and you're not used to eating, and then just have it in the fridge. And whenever you're reaching for a snack, if you're reaching for the chips, maybe just also add an apple to it. Maybe also add a handful of blueberries to it. Um, what do you think about incorporating?
well, a big part of being successful is that you set yourself up for success.
Yes.
And so that is having extra, some fruits and some vegetables that are easy to take with you. Like my kids all the time, I have 4 children and ranging the age is almost 16 down to 8. And so they constantly, when they're out, they come in, they grab a cucumber and just go and eat the cucumber, or red peppers, and so things like that. But a thing that for those of you who are in the car and on the go, get yourself a little container of seeds, nuts, and maybe some even dried fruit, and mix that, and then you can just have a handful of that to go. Definitely carry apples. There's things you can do that can satiate you, that's called mono meals, where, like, say you're driving in the car, or you're at home, and you take like 2 or 3 apples in a row and you eat it, and then you get super satiated from that. And so those are little things that you can do to kind of like curb that hunger or the craving. Or you can like take an apple and cut the apple and put some nut butter on it and some cinnamon, or banana and cinnamon. So you can kind of like almost, I don't want to say trick yourself into thinking it's more than it is, but kind of give it more of a flavor profile, more of a little oomph that makes you feel like, oh, I'm eating something a little more than just this apple or just this banana. And then I promise you, if you stick with it, there'll become a time where you're craving that's all you
Yep.
want.
Oh
So
yeah.
a lot of people in the beginning, they would say, refer to like the salads and vegan, plant-based, because there is a difference between vegan and plant-based vegan. It's more of, you're incorporating more plants as your main source of intake. But a lot of people would say, oh, bird food, you get salad, don't you ever get sick of salads? And it's funny because when you talk to vegans that are plant-based that have done this for a while, almost all of them say, we crave that salad. If there's a day where I didn't get one of those huge salads in, it's like, oh man, my body wants a salad. And
Yeah.
so yeah, so that's something that just comes with time, comes with changing over your body, so it's craving something different.
So I'm glad you said that too, because I think if someone's new to this lifestyle and they immediately make half their plate fruits and vegetables, it's good for them to know you're gonna go through a day to 3 days, more or less, everyone's different, of that transition period where you might be getting a lot of gas because your body's not used to so much fiber, and really push through that, because once you get over that stage, like, you will have more energy, you will be happier. But I think it is important to mention that that stage. Oh, I think I lost your sound.
Oh, no, it's okay.
There you
Somebody was at my.
go. But yeah, that transition stage is, I think that's where a lot of people give up because they don't have enough information to know, okay, if I just push through these couple of days, it will be worth it. They start eating a lot and they're like, oh, my stomach hurts all the time. This isn't for me. If your stomach's hurting all the time, you might not have enough fiber on your regular basis. And fiber is so important because that is what's cleaning the toxins out of your body on a regular basis. And if your toxins are getting stored in your body, you're going to have unbalanced hormones. You're going to be a little bit more moody. So increase in fiber, yes, that's a transition period, but it's a very important transition period. I would say I'm a healthy person, but when I started incorporating all this fruit, I still went through that transition period. It's super normal.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do one more,
Yeah.
and then we can.
And I wanted to touch on something where you said about you've been craving like lots of fruits lately.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that's super wonderful that I have come across is the cleaner you get, the more you're able to listen to your body, the more you're able to go, gosh, I'm really craving red pepper, let's say, and you eat the red pepper. And I am very much into learning about each fruit and vegetable actually represents a certain part of your body, which we can do another live on that for sure. But so let's say red pepper, and if you cut the red pepper open, it's got the members of the heart. So maybe there's something you needed in that realm. There's walnuts represent the brain. Of course, everyone knows carrots. If you cut it open, it looks like an iris. A lot of people don't know that apple is really good for your eyes too. So we can go into all that. But my point is that sometimes when you're actually craving something, it's your body's message and signal to you that you might need something in there. And so that's important to listen to. And that's one of the benefits of when you clean out the system and you don't have the processed foods in and you're eating the plants, your body will send you messages of things that it needs.
Yes. And
nutrient wise.
We all have that internal voice. The Ayurvedic and holistic lifestyle, mind, body, and spirit.
Yes.
The more your body can listen to that voice, the louder it's going to be, and the better you're going to feel when you do listen to it. Yes, in another video, we can touch on the mind and the spirit and how these are all connected. I think for now, that's a good place to leave it. And then let's do this one more question, and then we'll kind of wrap up our first live. Woo!
Yes! We're gonna be doing this weekly. So there'll be so much. I've got so much in my little box to share, and I am at a space and time in my life where I'm excited to share the information that I've learned. It's been a lot of years, a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge with product and recipes, and so I'm here for you. I'm here to share the knowledge. Otherwise, what good is it just sitting in my mind?
Yes, they say the purpose of the meaning of life is to find your gifts, and then the purpose of life is to give them away. So the last question is, how can I make healthier choices when eating out or ordering takeout? I mean, the first thing to do is grab a Molina extra virgin olive oil, and whatever you planned on eating out or taking out, try and remake it, at least attempt to remake it. If you fail, okay, order at eat out, take out. I always say at least try to make what you're craving first. And if that's too intimidating, what would you say when they eat out or get takeout? How can they make a healthier choice?
Well, ask
This one's
question.
tough.
This is a tough one because I have gone so, um, let's just say I'm such a lover of this lifestyle that it does, depending on where you live, it does make it a little bit difficult to find places that offer maybe such an extreme of organic, vegan, plant-based dishes. Because a lot of times there will be vegan, but they won't be organic. And so for me, that has been a challenge. Actually, the closest place I go out to eat is an hour and 40-minute drive south, is like the one restaurant I go to. However, if you're getting started and you would like to just be more mindful when eating out, don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to say, hey, look, because a lot of times people that have olive oil will cut it with soy. So you want to be very mindful of what the restaurants are putting in their food and things like that. And I think the more questions you ask and just say, hey, I'd like whatever it is that you're ordering, and try to make it as healthy as possible. Or if that's too much, just maybe if you eat out 4 times a week, maybe do it 3 times and then try to make that favorite meal at home. Bring the questions that you have to the next live for dishes that you like out, and we'll veganize them for you. I'll teach you how to do that. So yeah, that would be my suggestion on that.
The the oils that restaurants will cook their food in, I think, is one of the most inflammatory uh, landmines you can step in. I always, when I eat out, try and eat something that's not cooked. Ceviche is very popular around where I live, and that's a great way to get some rawness. But yeah, I think those cooking oils that restaurants use are one of the biggest factors. And like you said, ask questions. You never know. They might.
Yeah.
One of our restaurants cooks all their food in extra virgin olive oil, and they use Molina. So it's, and when I eat there and I eat somewhere else, I notice a huge difference.
Yeah.
The real enemy is inflammation at the end of the day when you're eating out. So the better you can avoid it, the better.
Well, then that goes along with the diet. That's the one thing that I can say that I've been super grateful for, is the lack of inflammation that comes along with when I exercise, or when I'm doing I like to do Bikram yoga, and so a hot yoga, and I like to walk on the beach and ride my bike, and I have very little, if any, inflammation ever, and I attribute that solely to the diet. Yeah.
Amazing. Also, I sent you that I don't know how to pronounce it, pranayama yoga.
Mhm.
Have you tried it before?
Oh,
I'm assuming, yeah.
like yes, yes.
Those
Breathing
breathing,
techniques are huge. And when we were talking about tips, this is one tip I'd like to definitely put out there today, because it's, if you're really looking at making a change and you want little things to help you along the way with your diet and things like that, write down something that you want in your life and put it right next to your bed. For instance, I want to make a plant-based, vegan, organic lifestyle change. I'm excited to be healthier. Whatever it is, that affirmation that you would like to obtain for yourself, write it down, put it in your next to your bed, put it in your pocket, put it where you can see it in the car, and read it over and over again until it becomes in your subconscious, and then you're just thinking, well, yeah, I do want to do this. And then the next thing you know, you will be doing it.
absolutely amazing. Yes. The For anyone that's new to, can you say it again? Pranayama?
But the type of yoga, it's the breathing type of yoga, pranayama.
Yes. So when I do that, it is wakes me up more than a cup of coffee because we just don't get enough oxygen to our brains. Um, so yeah, so anybody that's watching this, try that out first thing in the morning or afternoon when you need a pick me up and see how much
and
that
you
is
know
going to
it,
change.
and something simple, it doesn't even have to be so complicated. You can just simply do, like, let's do it right now together while we're on the live. We're going to do it 3 times. We're going to breathe in for 6. We're going to breathe out for 6. And something just as simple as that, in through your nose and out through your mouth for 6. Okay, ready? We'll
Okay.
do it 3 times. Okay, let's go. Again. That time. That right there.
What a great way to end the live.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Danielle, so much for being our weekly guest. And I'm so excited for next week where we can dive in a little bit more. For anybody watching, thank you so much. And we'll see you next time. Do you want to say any ending words?
Yeah, well, I think, do we have a link? Are you able to put a link down to my YouTube channel? I have some recipes and things like that on there as well. We can do that, or we can link that up next time.
Add it to our link tree. So
Okay,
we'll have a link in our bio, and then you'll be one of the buttons.
okay, wonderful.
Awesome. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.
All right. And oh, one last thing.
Yes.
Remember to giggle. Giggle, giggle, giggle. That is like key to life, okay?
Awesome.
All right. Well, I look forward to seeing you next week. And everybody think about their questions, and we'll be doing lives to answer your questions.
Yes. All right. Bye.